Cześć, tutaj Moni, and welcome to Learn Polish with Advans. And we are back to the grammar, for the time being at least. We've been slacking a little bit. Today we are going to talk about something which is called to clause. I came up with this term to help my students, as this grammatical phenomenon that I'm going to talk about today doesn't really have a name, a term. So this will help you when you hear me referring to this as to clause in the future. And if you are self-taught, if you use course books, you probably have seen it in a very early lessons, lesson 2 or 3. This is something which is introduced quite early in Polish, but I don't really do that, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. So what is to clause? In order to explain it as clearly as I can, let me first go with you through the cases that we already covered in this course, so covered so far. And it's lesson 66. Would you believe this? So let's start with the nominative case. In Polish, this is mianownik. So if you want to show off a little bit and name the cases in Polish, that's the first one. Mianownik, mianownik. So that's the nominative case. Now, to jest Marcin. This is Marcin. And I would like you to treat to jest, this is, or these are, to są, as an expression. Okay, it will never change. If you introduce someone, if you say this is, these are in Polish, you will always use the nominative case. Okay, so for singular, it's going to be to jest, this is, or it is. For plural, to są, these are, right? So to są dzieci, for instance, these are the children, to są dzieci. And I need to talk about this because this to that you see here, it's not the to I'm going to talk in a second about, okay? So to jest, these are two words that will be appearing together very often. To jest, to są, right? So for singular to jest, for plural to są, and treat it as an expression, as two words almost married together, if you like, okay? Inseparable. So now, inseparable. So now, if you want to say that you don't like Marcin, because you negate, you would have to use the genitive case. Dopełniać, dopełniać. Nie lubię, I don't like, now negation, Marcina. And we would add a to the at the very end, simply because this is what happens with the masculine nouns, animate masculine nouns, in genitive as well as in accusative. We add additional a to those nouns. There is a separate lesson on that, so you can watch it if you forgot. Now, dopełniać is genitive in Polish. So again, if you wanted to say this is genitive, you would say to jest dopełniać, dopełniać. Okay, it's really irrelevant. I just wanted to give you the Polish names for cases as well. So Marcin ma żonę. Here we are dealing with the accusative case because we've got a subject, verb, and the object. And the direct object usually gets accusative, is an accusative case in Polish. Żona is a feminine noun, and feminine nouns in accusative that ends get the letter L. Again, we've got a separate lesson on the accusative case. Check it out. It's there. So Marcin ma żonę, right? So żona becomes żonę. Accusative. Biernik in Polish. Biernik. Biernik. Now, if we want to say Marcin is a doctor, then we are dealing with a situation of who is who. Do you remember? right? And we need to use the instrumental case this time. In Polish, narzędnik. Narzędnik. So Marcin jest lekarzem. Lekarzem because masculine nouns as well as neuter nouns in instrumental get additional M. So Marcin jest lekarzem, right? So not Marcin jest lekarz. Marcin is a doctor, but Marcin jest lekarzem. Who is who? Okay, and just keep that thought for a second here. Okay, just take the memory picture if you like. Okay, Marcin jest lekarzem. You will need that in a second. So Marcin jest lekarzem. We can also say on jest. We can replace the word Marcin, name Marcin, with he, right? So on jest lekarzem. He is a doctor, right? This also requires instrumental. Who is who? He is a doctor, right? So the second who gets the instrumental ending. And you also learned the locative case. In Polish, locative is miejscownik. Miejscownik. And if we wanted to say Marcin is sitting on a sofa, we would say Marcin siedzi na. Marcin is sitting on. And this preposition on, na, in Polish connects with the locative case. Sofa becomes Sofie, simply because it's one of those nouns that take the ending ie. We know because it's F there, and we can help ourselves by doing best friends, right? Friends must not pick skin with zits, right? I know, disgusting sentence, but it helps you a lot when learning Polish. So therefore, Sofie, right? So we've got mianownik, dopełniacz, biernik, narzędnik, and we've got miejscownik, right? Now, a lot of you who are self-taught or who have some course books in Polish will see or have already seen that very often in Polish the word to is used to specify or in a meaning of jest. So you may have seen Marcin to lekarz, meaning Marcin is a doctor, right? Now, what happens here is we have who is who, but we don't really have the verb to be conjugated. We don't have is. Can you see? We don't really have the word jest here. So it's kind of who is who, because is doesn't exist in that sentence. We've got to replacing is. When that happens, right, and that happens in course books, variety of course books, because the first case that you learn is nominative, and you obviously want to say something about other people, something about yourself. So in order to get you speaking very quickly, books introduce a to clause rather than instrumental, not to scare you too much at the very beginning, right? But we are doing it other way round, because to clause, it's okay, but it can get tricky in a second. You will see that. So Marcin to lekarz means Marcin is a doctor. We don't have the verb to be conjugated. We don't have the word is here, jest, right? But we've got to. This is not the same to as here, because to jest are always together. To jest, to są, right? This is different to. Just accept this for now. If it's getting a little bit too complicated, just accept that this is a separate to. This is to that sometimes functions as jest. We do it when we describe other people, he or she, right? We or abstraction, for instance, love is, hate is, right? Holiday is, for instance, right? So to. Now, when we use the to clause, let me use my term. So when we use the word to in the meaning of yes, we don't have to change anything because we don't have yes. When we've got yes, who is who, then we need to use instrumental. But here, we kind of have the meaning of it, but don't really have the word itself as such. So we use nominative, the nominative case. So this is an easy way of saying who is who, if you like, because you don't have to worry about the instrumental case. But it's not so straightforward. There are certain catches, if you like. So you have to be careful. So let's see. You can use to clause and nominative. So don't worry about changing it, changing the word, the noun that you want to describe someone with. You just do nominative case. Marcin to lekarz. Moni to nauczycielka. Moni is a teacher. Look, you don't have to change anything. It stays there. Okay? However, you cannot use to clause with the personal pronouns. So when you replace Marcin with on, personal pronouns are he, she, it, we, you, they, these words, right? So ja, ty, on, ona, right? If you wanted to say he instead of Marcin, on, then that cancels to clause. You cannot do it when it comes to to clause. So you can clearly see that it's not that easy, right? So if you use on, as you can see here, you are back to doing instrumental. You cannot use on to, right? There's no such thing in Polish. On jest. So if you use the personal pronoun, then straight away you are back to instrumental. But if you replace on, personal pronoun, with a name, Marcin, then you can use to. Marcin to lekarz. It's just you just need to get used to it, really. Okay, that's all it is. When I can do it and when I can't. That's all it is. But it's really crucial, as you will see it all the time in different books, articles, on television. So it's really important to understand this. Now, so yes, use it with names, absolutely, but don't use it with personal pronouns. So ty, on, ona, to, my, wy, oni, one. That's a no-no. So it's here, okay? That's a no-no. Now, when we want to say what is Marcin like, so we don't deal with the situation of who is who any longer, but who is what like, right? Then we don't have an instrumental case, right? Logically, because it's who is what like, not who is who. And we can use, or we need to use, an adjective. Look at this. Marcin jest dobry. Marcin is good, as in a good doctor. So Marcin jest dobry. But we cannot use adjective only with to clause. So you cannot say Marcin to dobry. So what I'm trying to say here is you cannot just assume that to replaces jest and you can do whatever you want with it, right? Say Marcin to dobry, on to lekarz. It doesn't work like this, okay? So Marcin to dobry, okay? No, with the adjectives only, we can just use jest, because in fact you are saying Marcin is, so this jest needs to be there, right? So Marcin jest dobry. Marcin is good, right? Marcin is good. Hang on a second, but if you add a noun there, Marcin to dobry lekarz, you are fine. Okay, so bear with me. What you see here now is that we need a noun with to clause, clearly. If we have a noun, we can describe this noun and we are fine. Marcin is a good doctor. Because our to clause needs this noun, needs who. This is back to who is who, isn't it? Look, Marcin is a good doctor. Who is who? But here, Marcin is what like. Marcin jest dobry. Right? We don't have a noun here. So, if you use adjective and a noun together, you are covered. You can use to clause. If you use just the adjective, then you cannot do that because simply you are saying who is what like. It's not even an instrumental case. It's not even to clause. It's nothing. It's nominative really. Marcin is good. That's it. Full stop. You don't have to worry about anything here, right? If you use to clause, right, you need a noun. Marcin to lekarz. Marcin is a doctor. You can describe this noun by throwing in an adjective. Marcin to dobry lekarz, but you need that noun there, right? Okay? And you cannot replace the noun, so the subject you're talking about, in other words, by using the personal pronoun he or she or it. You will deal with the to clause usually when talking about other people or abstraction things. So we are really talking about the verb jest or to in the sense of jest, right? So she is, he is, it is, love is, a house is, hate is, Kasia is, Jane is, right? So talking about other people, right? The to clause will have that to in the meaning of jest. Okay, so let me, as this is getting a little bit more complicated, okay, you are at the end of the day now on a different level, lesson 66, well, it's no longer super basic. So let me summarize this for you and we will practice at the next lesson, okay? So look at this. Moni jest nauczycielką. Moni is a teacher. Who is who? We've got jest. Therefore, there is no other way but to use in the instrumental case, right? Because we've got jest, right? Another way of saying that is replacing this jest with to, and you can do this if you wanted to say Moni is a teacher because you've got a noun, so you are covered. Moni to nauczycielka. So either this or that. Can you see? Moni jest instrumental, nauczycielką, or Moni to nominative, nauczycielka. Both sentences are correct. They mean the same, but they vary when it comes to the case, because here we've got instrumental. This forces us to use the instrumental case, and this forces us to use the nominative case, basically. Right? Now, I can throw an adjective here. Moni jest dobrą nauczycielką. Moni jest dobrą nauczycielką. Moni is a good teacher. I wanted to say Moni is a kind teacher, but let it be. Moni jest dobrą nauczycielką. So because of jest, I'm using adjective and the noun in instrumental case. Can you see it? Yeah? So Moni jest dobrą nauczycielką, right? So if you think that I'm a good teacher and you want to recommend this channel to somebody else, you would say Moni jest dobrą nauczycielką, right? If you choose to use jest, then you have to do the instrumental case. And I know we haven't done adjectives in the cases like genitive, accusative, instrumental. So it's just accept that this is what this would be, right? This would agree with the form of the noun. So Moni jest dobrą nauczycielką, but you could also replace jest using to clause, Moni to, nominative, dobra nauczycielka, covered here because you've got nauczycielka here, noun. So you don't really have to worry. You can do to. Moni to dobra nauczycielka. If you wanted to say Moni is good, then you have only the adjective in the case, one adjective in the sentence, right? So you know that you cannot use to clause. You cannot use to clause for adjectives only. So you are forced, in other words, to say Moni jest dobra, right? And someone could ask, Moni, do I need to use instrumental here? No, because you are not saying who is who, but who is what like. So that is not the instrumental case, okay? And if you wanted to say she is a teacher or she is a good teacher, so instead of a name you are using a personal pronoun, ona jest, then you have to use instrumental, right? You cannot use the to clause. So in other words, if you look at your course book, if you look at something that had to, you will see why. You will have to, I guarantee there is a noun in a sentence in your course book. So for instance, James to Amerykanin. James is an American. Who is who? Amerykanin, a noun. So it's fine. Jenny to pielęgniarka. Jenny is a nurse, right? But it can get a little bit more complicated. Many students who look at the clause think this entirely replaces the verb, so they can do whatever they want with this to, and they use this for adjectives, for personal pronouns, making mistakes. So my point of this lesson is use this, but know where and when to use this clause, okay? Let me know actually if you came across to in the sense of yes in your course book with your teacher or anywhere really, whether you've seen it before. That would be very useful. Dziękuję bardzo. Thank you very much, and I see you at the next lesson. Thank you. Dziękuję. Pa.